have no idea what I just watched. I really don't. I mean, it was complete utter foolery. This is Growing Up Hip Hop Season 2, Episode 5. Only God and Janet would know. It starts off, oh, my name is Romie, by the way. Please like, comment, subscribe, and come back. So, James DeBarge, you know, Kristinia's father, she goes to the emergency room because her father got jumped. He's saying he got jumped. Here's what really happened. I'm sure he got jumped. I'm sure he got attacked. Why? Because he relapsed. Let's be real. Kristinia's looking at him like, Papa, what happened? What happened? He's like, well, you know, I was at my house and these two guys jumped me. I don't know who they are. She's like, yeah, I don't know if I believe the story. I don't know if he relapsed. I just know that he's looking skinny again. I just know that he's looking jittery again. The results come back and he'll be overall fine. Just a little sprain and a little bit of bruising. I was just over it. I'm like, damn, he looks bad. I mean, I am skinny, but I'm just like regular skinny. He's like Lord Jesus, drug-induced skinny. And that's a whole different type of skinny. Oh, man. I was just looking at him like, damn. That is... See, the only positive thing about this is that I'm sure there's some people struggling with drug addiction. I appreciate the fact that they're showing this stuff on the show because especially in the minority community, black community, what have you, people, you know, our communities like to go and... I almost said those because I'm not thinking the whole drug part because that's not the issue with my family. But, well, there was, yeah, actually, I take that, look, it's the whole thing of it gets swept under the rug. It's like, oh, well, you know, it's almost like if there's a vanity issue, a visual issue, you go and you get that checked out right away. If not, then you just sweep everything else up under the rug. It's sad, but that's the only reason why I appreciate, you know, Romeo and his family talking about, because Romeo was talking to Boogie, and now it looks like Boogie, he doesn't have a drug issue. We all can really assume that he doesn't have a drug issue, but he's probably hanging around with the wrong people, and kind of like the situation with Romeo's sister, of where, because she was hanging around with the Hollywood-esque type, she started to dibble and dabble, and then it became a full-on addiction. Boogie's talking to Romeo, because Romeo wants to make sure that his friend's cool, because it's like, this whole DUI thing, that's not funny. It's like, okay, so you weren't drinking, so what were you doing? Because there was something, there was a reason why they pulled you over. Boogie essentially has this whole thing of, I didn't really do anything. Well, I'm going to tell you what I did, but I didn't do anything. And I'm like, so did you not do anything, or did you? And again, we also have the whole setup for Romeo's going to have to talk to Angela at some point. When? We're not sure. But it's going to happen. Angela and TJ, they have this quick conversation about TJ's been touring, and you know, this is kind of reacclimating TJ onto the show because he's actually been working. Angela's just like, yeah, I'm pregnant, this is what it is. He's excited for her. But they kind of talk about how their families were blended because, of course, Grandmaster Jay was a part of Run DMC. And like I said, their families are pretty blended. So his death affected everyone. And TJ's never gone to his father's burial site. Well, never gone to visit his father afterward. And that's going to be his storyline for this episode. That's going to be Angela's storyline for this episode. So she's going to tag along. I'm thinking, damn, really? This is going to be the... Oh, okay. Boogie with his father, Dame Dash, go to this lawyer. This really, like, uppity lawyer is just like, man, dude, so what's going on, dude? I'm like, wait a minute, so what are you doing? I could have been the only one that was like, what is he on? Because he's giving me, is it popping a Xanax or what? What is it? This is all jokes, people. This is all jokes. He was trying to figure out, okay, so why are you actually here? But James, like, he's saying that he didn't do anything, but he got arrested, and I'll just let him tell you what happened. So they did the breathalyzer. He wasn't drinking. They said that he was swerving, and I was like, so can we prove that or not? You know, we can if they had of course, what is that called? A camera on front of their car, a dash cam. Lord, my whole thing is, I don't know if Boogie wants to be proven right or be proven wrong. I'm not sure at this point because he's saying he didn't drink. It was proven that he didn't drink. He didn't do anything else. He keeps saying, you know, I don't have a drug problem. You know, I smoke weed and maybe occasional whatever. This is all from Boogie's mouth. But I'm like, you know, now, especially nowadays, weed's laced with a whole myriad of stuff. A whole myriad of stuff. And I know that for a fact. They were doing that in the 1970s, 1980s. So I know they're still doing it now synthetically. So you never really know what you're doing. That's why I don't do a damn thing. I don't trust no one enough to even take an aspirin. I don't do anything. Anything. I go to sleep. I have a headache, eat, go to sleep. My body hurts, eat, take some vitamins, go to sleep. You see the pattern there? And because I'm able to get away with that. Kristinia takes her father to, she was like, wait, where are you living? The place that you're living, I don't know where he was living, a halfway house or a crack house or somewhere. But she said, you're not going back to wherever that was. She took him to a family friend house. And I'm like, your mother is not going to allow you to have him come up and live with you, live with her. That's not going to happen. I'm so glad that she was like, you know what? I'm taking you to my cousin's house. So I'm thinking, now Kristinia, can your father be trusted? Let's just be honest. Can your father be trusted? Because your father still isn't telling you that he relapsed. So actually, he pretty much finally admitted that he relapsed, which is really important because here's the problem. He does not look the same that he did when he first came out of jail and we saw him. So he's all jittery, the big wide eyes. I'm like, damn, illegal drugs are a hell of a thing, even legal drugs. So that's when Kristinia is like, okay, this is great. I still have you here. You still kind of seem aware. I'm going to ask you a really important question about the whole Janet Jackson thing. Do I have a secret half-sister? He said, well, you know, and I'm thinking, oh God, if he's been doing drugs and he admitted that he did the interview and that he did say that he believes that he does have a daughter that Janet Jackson gave birth to and never told him about because when they were together, you know, her father and family were very controlling. So that's why they broke up. And I'm thinking, if you were having issues at that time, that's probably why they wanted you two to break up, amongst other things. And he was like, you know, I could have sworn she was pregnant. She looked pregnant. And I just assumed that she had it taken care of because it was right around the release of the Control album, you know, a huge game-changing album for Janet. So, you know, I guess in his mind, it's like, I would understand, I wouldn't be happy, I would understand if she decided to, you know, I hate the phrase get rid of the baby, but if she did something with the baby, because she was like, someone called me out of the blue, and they were telling me things that only God, Janet, and myself would know, so it's just, she's like, it has to be her. I'm thinking, but you're on drugs. How can we trust anything in your mouth? And I love the fact that Kristinia was even like, yeah, well, if this is true, well, if that's true, well, if, because she knows her father has a problem. So she's not taking this all and being just full blind and ignorant to it. She knows that there's a possibility that it's all could be BS. TJ goes and finally visits his father. Angela's there to support him. And you know, he's just saying, no, it's really comforting to finally go there. And she's like, oh, you're so strong because you just seem to be able to handle everything and nothing affects you. It's just like, yeah, well, just gotta keep it pushing one day at a time. It is what it is. And I'm like, okay, that was a nice scene, but I can't do the whole dragged out funeral, sentimental stuff. That's just a little too heavy. A little too heavy. But it was nice to, I guess, see for him to have some form of closure. Even though the murder mystery is still a murder mystery. Kristinia needs a break. She needs a break from her family. She needs a break from her life. So she's going to go over to Brianna's house. She's going to go over to Brianna and see what's going on with her. Brianna's like, hey girl, what's up? Kristinia said, yeah, so remember I told you that my mess. I do have a half sister. She's like, well, you know, they were both attractive people in their day, so I'm not really surprised about it. Nothing wrong with it. And it's just, it is what it is. But then Kristinia also told her about the whole Angela and Romeo thing, and that's where Brianna's just like, oh, messy, messy, messy. It is what it is. So Andre, is his name Andre? Andre King, yeah. Andre, Swiss Beat's brother, he throws his party, invites everyone, and everyone starts to come. Angela's only there really to see Andre, says hello to Kristinia and them, and then bounces. Why? Because Romeo is like hugging Luna's sister, just fraternizing with all the girls, and Angela feels a certain way about it. She knows that Romeo is essentially kind of trying to play her right now because he's still irritated, because he's so upset, because they haven't talked one-on-one as two adults about the whole situation, and her kind of ghosting him once she got with this other dude. And I'm thinking Romeo's still immature for the way he's acting, but Angela, if that's supposed to be her friend, could have handled it a different way. We know that with Dame Dash being there, that Angela wasn't going to stay there for long. And Dame Dash is just like, I know I make some people uncomfortable, so Angela is one of them. It is what it is with her leaving. Dame Dash is only there, really, to make sure that, well, one, I guess he was invited, but two, to make sure that Boogie's good. Because you know now Dame is going to pop up wherever Boogie is. It's like, okay, you good? You good? Okay, okay. Because I can't, because it's like all stuff that I did growing up, and I didn't go to jail. And for you to go to jail potentially for a DUI, do you know how stupid that sounds? And he's right. It's idiotic. For something like that. For something like that. It's just so stupid. And of course Romeo's over. It's just like, oh, well, I guess me and Angela, it is what it is. Since you decided to leave and not even talk to me. Here's where the foolery really comes in. We have Brianna, or Perry. Why do I call her Brianna Perry? Brianna, and she brings her boyfriend, because she told Kristinia, you know, her and her boyfriend have some issues, so do you have my back if anything goes down? I'm like, wait a minute, what? Because I know that she's been prone to fight some the people that she's been in relationships with, but this one's a little bit different. Everyone's noticing that, you know, the chemistry between them two is really awkward, and even Andre, he didn't say it, but I'm sure he was thinking it, like, if you need to stay over at my house so I can keep an eye on you, stay over at my house. And she was like, no, we're good, we're good. I'm like, no, you need to stay, you need to stay, you need to stay. Because they had this like weird tension, and at first it could be confused for sexual tension, but it was not sexual tension between her and her boyfriend. It was, I'm ready to beat your butt, I'm ready to beat your butt, and we just need to go. We just need to go because something is about to pop off. And when Kristinia was in her car, we thought that, oh, maybe she heard something else with her father, and that's why she was like, oh my gosh, I have to go to the emergency room again. The same one again. No, it's because of the fact that Brianna called her, and Brianna was just like, nah, I need your help. Her boyfriend beat her butt. Effed up her face, and Kristinia has this look of, what the hell? Jesus, I know they had issues, but not that type of issues. I know she's been prone to swing, but I didn't know that he was going to swing back. Or maybe this one was the swinger, and she was the recipient. Either way, it's just like, what the hell? What's going on? Mary. Kendu has been focusing on trying to get some money out of you instead of focusing on, let me stop, because she's grown, and I understand she's grown. Her father can only do so much, and that's the messed up part. I'm sure he just wants to shake her like, stop it, stop being in these relationships, I love you. But it is what it is. It's hard. That's hard. That's really hard. Whether she's the aggressor or her boyfriend, it's just really hard. Please like, comment, subscribe. It looks like Kristinia's storyline is going to be kind of being a part of everyone else's. I guess that's something.